Wrestling is all here for it, just to see Eddie Islas get smacked in the face, and already Eddie with a rake to the eyes. You saw Eddie come in with that Hannibal Lecter-esque style entrance, and you could make the argument that Eddie's mental health really has deteriorated over the past couple months. Eddie Islas turning his back on Tortuga, turning his back on his friends, turning his back on the SoCal Pro Wrestling fans. The tone shift of the straight edge Street King, or at this point, straight edge devil, Eddie Islas, has been nothing short of astonishing. As Eddie's become more aggressive than ever, but now it's landed him in this situation. Steel cage match with the risk of his precious blonde locks in the balance. As Tortuga blocking that attempt to smash into the cage, and you hear the fans behind the mighty Tortuga. It is loud, it is hot, and it is SoCal Pro Wrestling SuperClash. Eddie Islas going line after line, and a Flutes press as Tortuga rains down the punches onto Eddie Islas, his former friend. Eddie's hair, not the only thing on the line tonight, as Tortuga's mask is also on the line. He will lose that should he lose this match. And for those who don't know, a luchador's mask is almost like a piece of his soul. To lose that is to lose the very fiber of your being, to lose the very essence of yourself. And that is what is hanging in the balance for Tortuga, blocking once again that smash into the cage. The steel cage not only containing these two wrestlers, but as you see here, can be used as a weapon. It is completely legal, no disqualifications in this match. The steel cage, you hear it every single time they hit the ropes. But Eddie hitting a little more than ropes as he's sent into the cage like a cheese grater, going all the way down, rubbing skin raw. There is very little give to solid steel, I will tell you. Eddie Islas able to move out of the way with a couple strikes, and Tortuga, Eddie Islas with a kick to the back of Tortuga's knee. Tortuga has had that knee surgically repaired. He has faced injury to that knee, and it is no surprise that Eddie Islas is targeting what he sees as a weakness. If anyone knows Tortuga, if anyone knows the weakness in that turtle shell, it is Eddie Islas. Kick to the back as Eddie Islas appears to be solidly in control. Those Muay Thai-like knees as he sends Tortuga this time head first into the steel cage. Now Eddie, with his foot grinding Tortuga's face into that metal of the cage. This isn't to win the match. This is just to inflict pain. Eddie Islas has become more sadistic than ever. As he has his sights set staring daggers at someone who he considered almost a brother. With those debilitating knees, trying to wear the big turtle down. And a huge knee to the jaw of Tortuga from Eddie Islas. As Eddie could be using this moment to climb the cage, to open the door, but no, he's going to inflict more punishment on his friend. And a very innovative offense as he sends his forearm into the small of the back of Tortuga. Shell or not, that War Turtle's going to be feeling that in the morning. Islas looking like he's going for a camel clutch. Tortuga definitely with the strength advantage. Not letting him sink that in, although the torque on the turtle's back. And Eddie Islas ripping at the mask of Tortuga. Seems very eager. Come on, Tortuga! Very eager to remove that mask and show the world the actual face of Tortuga. Once again, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect in Lucha Libre, and Eddie knows that. Tortuga not taking that disrespect, lying down as chop after chop rained to the chest of Eddie Islas, and his head bounces off the middle bar of that steel cage. As Tortuga picks up Eddie Islas, and a big scoop slam, throwing Eddie Islas like a sack of potatoes into that steel cage wall. And a big senton falling right across Eddie Islas' chest. Referee with the count of 2. As both men are down. Steel cage match so dangerous. Not only do you have a 10-foot wall of steel surrounding the ring, but the competitors are locked in that steel. So many ways to get hurt, so many ways to get caught up, so many ways to twist something the wrong way. That is why steel cage matches are so dangerous. It's not just the metal, it's not just the fact that you're locked in your opponent. This makes you work differently inside the ring. There's no escape, there's no reprieve, there's no opportunity for any pensive thought. It is only your opponent, you, and the drive to walk out with a victory as Eddie Islas just stomping on the face of Tortuga, driving his heel into the cheek of the turtle, and a senton of his own. And Tortuga launching Eddie Islas off of him. As once again, the power advantage definitely lies with Tortuga. The aggression, however, that drive to inflict punishment, definitely lies in the corner of Eddie Islas, the straight edge devil. Tortuga with 2 shots, ducking a third. 1, 2 jabs, and a big uppercut. Launching Eddie Islas off his feet. He's almost out of his shoes. Goes Eddie Islas. Eddie bringing in Tortuga, looking for possibly a hurricanrana. But Tortuga picking him up. And a huge slam onto the cage from the shoulders of Tortuga. As Eddie seems to be caught up in the ropes. Eddie is in a precarious position, caught up in the ropes. You see his arms wrapped up, leaving him defenseless for the right hands of Tortuga. Right after right falling across the face of Eddie Islas. Once again, on the line is Tortuga's mask and Eddie's hair. Mask versus hair. The soul of Tortuga, the essence of the wrestler versus the dignity, versus the self-image, versus the self-respect of Eddie Islas. Eddie looked like he was almost going to climb the cage, but no. Going off the middle rope. Big elbow drop onto the chest of Tortuga. It's interesting that Eddie Islas would elbow drop Tortuga off the middle rope, because as you see that scar of Tortuga on his chest, Tortuga has gone under open heart surgery, and Eddie Islas was one of the people in his corner while he was recovering, visited him in the hospital. And to drive that elbow into the chest of Tortuga, that is not something you would ever consider doing to a brother. As Tortuga slams Eddie, but again, knees right to the chest of Tortuga. Knees right to the chest of Tortuga. Eddie Islas going for a pin, using the middle rope. Using the rope as leverage. Once again, there is no disqualification. Everything is legal inside that cage.
Come on, Tortuga!
Eddie with a big DDT. Tortuga's head bouncing off the canvas. And a count of 2, but 2 is all Eddie Islas gets. As you can see him almost foaming at the mouth, warning the referee. Eddie says to hell with this, going to climb the cage to a raucous chant of Eddie sucks. Tortuga not going to let him go that easy as he grabs Eddie's ankles, stopping him from climbing the cage. Eddie Islas now dangling 14 feet in the air. Eddie Islas now has both feet outside. If his feet touch the ground, Eddie Islas wins and Tortuga is unmasked. Tortuga has him on a suplex position and from the top rope from the cage, a huge superplex from the top rope. Tortuga and Eddie Islas crashing to the ground. One more time, we're going to see this from the top of the cage. Eddie Islas crashing down a huge superplex. As you see Eddie's spine collapse and contract and compress as he slams into the mat. Some main events are for titles, some main events are to show what you can do, and this main event is for nothing short of pride, nothing short of the dignity of these two individuals, and they are going to fight to the death for it. Until the last one can no longer stand, blow after blow, shot after shot in the middle of the ring. These two former brothers, and Eddie Islas seems to get the better of the exchange. Tortuga blocking one, blocking two, blocking a third with a big chop. Eddie Islas ducks the kick, takes a back elbow to the chest, is weebledy-wobbledy, and a huge clothesline brings him down. Another back elbow brings Eddie down again. And Tortuga with a huge belly-to-belly suplex. This could be it. But no, Tortuga says if you want to inflict punishment, I'm going to inflict punishment of my own. A big Tortuga splash. 1, 2. And Eddie Islas kicks out at the count of 2. Tortuga feeding off that energy as he goes for another Tortuga splash, but Eddie rolls out of the way. You can see that crazed look in the eye of Eddie Islas. Eddie Islas has been suspended. He has been ejected from the building, and he still comes back to inflict pain on Tortuga. Tortuga been unable to shake Eddie Islas. Over the past couple months, it has been relentless. It has cost Tortuga matches, and now it may cost Tortuga his mask as Eddie Islas hits him with a huge cutter. Tortuga flat on his back in the middle of the ring, count of 2. And I think they want to see a cue ball Eddie Islas as Tortuga lines him up. And a huge shell-shocking, body-rocking combination to Eddie Islas. Driving shell to Eddie's front and steel to Eddie's back as Tortuga goes up to the top rope. I don't know if Tortuga's trying to escape or Tortuga's going to the top rope for a Tortuga splash, and I think I have my answer. Tortuga's twisting around from the top rope. He's calling his shot, and a huge Tortuga splash from the top rope. Tortuga landing squarely from the sky on Eddie Islas. I never thought I'd see it, but turtles can indeed fly. And only a count of two. Eddie Islas got his shoulder up at 2.9. I can't remember anyone in recent memory who's kicked out of a Tortuga splash from the top rope. That is a lot of turtle coming from the sky. And Eddie Islas, probably out of nothing but reflexes, is able to get his shoulder up. He barely looks like he knows where he is. Eddie Islas, you're in the middle of a SoCal Pro ring at SuperClash. Tortuga going up once again.